All right, let's go ahead get to my next guest of the evening. This is his second appearance on the show. He has a new album on the way. It is entitled Lex Luthor and the Fly Who Warned Me. He goes by the name of the Dizzee Wallace. He's back on the show right here, right now. What's good, man?
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm good, man. Thank you so much for being back on the show, man. Good to have you back.
I appreciate you having me again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So before we talk about this album, man, I want to talk about your appearance in that Anonymous Rose Orlando B video for Friends. The video just came
Yeah,
out just yesterday. Looks like
yeah,
you all had a really, really good time in that video shoot. So talk about being in the music video with the '90s throwback and everything.
yeah. Well, I consider Anonymous Rose to be to be a good friend and one of the people, one of the artists in the city that I definitely have a great amount of of respect for. She's definitely one of my favorite lyricists in the city, and of course, Lando. I think he's a great artist as well. What I'm saying, that's my brother right there. So when they when they invited me to be a part of the video, when 13.5 reached out, I was definitely like, hey, it's no problem. I definitely slide through. So yeah, I mean, but we had a really good time. It was '90s theme. Um, that's sort of the image that I project anyway, in most of my appearances that I make or whatever. But that's how I always got down, as an artist. But yeah, so I had on like some Batman gear, Marvel gear, stuff that I really really loved growing up. Anybody that knows me, they know I'm a Batman fanatic. So I had to include those pieces in there. Um, had on black and white coat, black jeans. What I'm saying, just something simple. But yeah, but the song that Anonymous and Lando had together, the Friends record, which is on all streaming platforms right now. Um, Definitely one of my favorite collabs this year. So yeah, I mean, yeah, we had a good time. Everybody's in good spirits. Rock was there. Respect Original Creation. You already know who that is.
Yeah.
And yeah, so yeah, I mean, like I said, we all had a good time. Yeah,
So check out the song Friends from Anonymous Rose and Lando B. That's on the platforms. And check out the music video. Just came out on YouTube just yesterday. And I believe Anonymous Lincoln Lounge Volume 2 is coming at some point next year. Uh, so
yeah, yeah.
so it's coming. That's all we need to know. It's coming. Uh,
Yeah,
so
and also to clarify too, if you're looking for the song on streaming platforms, the Friends song, it's spelled FRA, yeah, FRANNS. Just to clear up
yeah,
any confusion. Just put a little swag to the word friend.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. And the album cover is a spinoff of the TV show logo for Friends.
yeah,
So there's the some inspiration behind that cover and the beginning of the music video. So anybody
yeah,
that watches the TV show Friends, very popular opening theme song. And of course the chorus, very very famous chorus from a famous song back in the day as well. Just Anonymous and Lando put their own spin to it. So that sounds pretty dope as well. So go check that out. So, Mr. Wallace, on to you, man. Let's talk about
Yeah,
this record. Lex Luthor in The Fly Who Warned Me. And
yeah,
you have 9 songs, brand new songs on there. You release Metro Finest as the lead single. So let's
hmm
start with the title. What obviously you refer to yourself as Lex Luthor. Pretty much for most
yeah,
of your career. Anybody that follows your music like I do, so that's kind of been your thing. So talk about, man, just what made you decide to name this project Lex Luthor and The Fly Who Warned Me.
yeah. Yeah. So okay. So the title is just the fly who warned me. But but I guess what you just said is fine too. But the real
Yeah,
title is the fly who warned me. Just to clarify.
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah,
but yeah. So basically, the concept of of the project of the EP is of course it involves this this alter ego, this other character that I've created for myself. Obviously, I gather inspiration from the DC Comics villain, Lex Luthor. And basically, since I'm from the city of Lexington, and I'm a big, huge, villain guy. Somebody who's inspired by um, not so much the deeds of what villains do, but just a lot of their philosophies. And most of the time, they see the world in a really in a really interesting way. And the way that they see the world, it isn't always, it's not what you would consider to be wrong. It's just a different way of seeing things. Or it just might be another route that they might take in order to achieve a goal, and the goal they might want to achieve might turn out to be good. But anyway, besides all that, so basically, you know, this concept is really just another instance of me um, warning my opposition, as being somebody who is always in tune with what's going on, with what's being said, with what's happening around me, and and basically, it's me just escaping from um, just trying to get everyone in the city to a better place. Um, with a lot of Lexington artists, one of the main things that's always talked about is the state of the city, and the unifying of all artists coming together and all of that. And so I sort of use this city as like my backdrop. And so when I do music, or when I go into the whole Lex Luthor thing, I always treat this city as metropolis. And anybody who's followed Superman or DC Comics, the city of Metropolis is where a lot of these things take place, and where the story of Superman and Lex Luthor takes place. So it's really just the world that I've created myself for the music. But basically, it's time for Lex Luthor to just take a vacation, to separate himself um, from basically trying to make the city better, trying to help the people to become better, trying to help the people to help themselves, and basically, they want to do things their own way. They want somebody to constantly, you know, save them, but they don't necessarily want to change their behavior for the better. So that's made me, public enemy number one. So in order for my peace of mind, I have to sort of, escape from all of that. And but 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 instead of just letting me live in peace and just being on this quest for peace, some of the people want to come after me and rub me out. So basically, it's like it's like a chase type of thing, and so I have the music to basically illustrate what's to illustrate what's going on. So that's basically the concept for the project. And then like when I originally came up with the concept, I was in a mode where I was watching a lot of James Bond flicks, and I grew up watching those. So that sort of gave me like the inspiration to be like, you know what? Let's take Lex Luthor out of the city for a little bit, and let's just look at some of his, exploits and stuff away from the city, how he handles himself outside of his own natural habitat. How he's able to maneuver and what I'm saying, how does he use the things that he has at his disposal to come out on top each and every single time, no matter what his opposition is. So basically, all I'm doing is really just saying, I'm the man. Lex Luthor is the man. You can't beat him. You can't break him down. Even if he does have a slip up or a setback, he always finds a way to maneuver around that shit. Sometimes it might take him a while,
Yeah.
but he always ends up being where he needs to be. I know that was kind of long, a bit of a long explanation, but but a lot of thought has really gone into this. So
Yeah, you definitely put a lot of emphasis on this project. And with your passion behind it, I feel like you should be a writer for DC or Marvel, man.
I
Add your expertise to these scripts and whatnot. I'm just putting it out there.
yeah yeah man. Listen, that would be a dream because to be able to write for any comic book, publication because I mean I've been a comic book head ever since I was young, and when it came to superheroes and supervillains, like that's always been a world that I always found fascinating. So when it comes to my music, I always like to pull. I'm a film aficionado. I love film. I love comic books. So a lot of my work comes from things that I see in different films or just comic book storylines, and I sort of do like my own adaptation, with some of the stories that I see or that I read, and then I basically just take those things and just apply them to the Lex Luthor character. So like I said, about a few minutes ago, James Bond has always been like one of my biggest inspirations. Just the idea of just no matter where you go, no matter what trouble you might encounter, you always handle your business. And so there's a little bit of a skit at the end of one of the songs on the project called Carl Weathers. It's a song that comes. It's track 2, and I had my boy Lando B on there. Lando B is like the skit guy. Aside from being a great artist, a great rapper, and all that, he always comes through with skits and everything. And I don't want to give anything away. Of course, I kind of want people to experience it for themselves. But like, he does kind of give his thoughts on about how he feels about me at that very moment. Nobody can find me. Nobody can get in touch with me. What I'm saying? I'm gone. I'm away from the city. I don't want to deal with the politics. I don't want to deal with I don't want to deal with the greed. I don't want to deal, with a bunch of, evil ass people and all that stuff. And, basically trying to help people out of the funk, but them not appreciating it. So, what I'm saying? So I'm gone. And, but, but everything that I do is not appreciated. So, people want to rub me out, like I said earlier. So
Yeah.
it's all about handling your business, and the music definitely reflects that. Whether I'm in the city or outside of it, I'm always going to handle my business. So,
Yeah. So let's talk about the opening track, Metro Finest.
yeah,
You released that as a single.
yeah,
Devon produced it. Devon actually produced majority of this record. Long Song and Feel the
Yeah.
Cover, J Ideas,
Mm.
Deep. And so those are your producers that have contributed to this project. Talk about putting
Yeah.
together Metro's Finest.
Yeah. So the uh, the producer who goes by Devon, he's actually Devon Beats on Instagram. But I actually found his beats on a website called Track Train, and it's a website where a lot of producers, um, they post their beats on there, and they have like leases or exclusive for the beats or whatever, and they give you a price. If you want to buy the exclusive, you can. If you want to do a lease, you can also do that. But I came across Devon, um, in the midst of just searching for a new sound. Um, I think everybody's heard my music, of course. People are pretty familiar with my sound and what it is that I bring. But I kind of wanted to do something different with this one. I never want to do the same thing over and over and over again. So I spent almost a year trying to get the sound for this project together. People already know that I can rap. People already know that I can bring it with, lyrics and bars and all of that. Um, but I wanted to be more um, musical with this project, to like usher in a new era of me just wanting to elevate musically. Having more complex. Me going over more complex beats. Some stuff that'll actually challenge me some more. In some areas. So I came across Devon sometime last year and listened through all of his beats, and I really, really loved his sounds because he chops up samples on his beats, and I can tell that he has a real passion for like old R&B and soul records, and he uses a lot of those samples to create what he's put out there. So the Metro's Finest beat I came across about maybe 3 months ago, and it was one of those instances where like I knew it was going to be a song that I was going to actually use and put out there because I wrote it in no time. And usually when I come across a beat or come across a piece of music that just instantly hits me and I automatically come up with the words like right then and there, or just the beat just never leaves me. Um, I know that that's one that's going to stick around. So I found the beat to Metro's Finest, got that from him, and then I just wrote to it. I always kind of knew that I was going to start the EP off with that song because it's sort of me just poking my chest out and being like when it comes to the city of Metropolis, I feel like I represent it to the fullest. I feel like I represent I feel like I represent Lexington, in the real world, in the real sense, aside from the concept, I feel like I represent Lexington uh, fairly well when it comes to the music and when it comes to the art. And I just want to be a good representation of where I come from. And so when it comes to, Lex Luthor, it's all about being the finest from the city, being that guy that everybody knows to be, the guy, the dude that always handles his business, the guy that's always 3 steps ahead, or maybe more steps ahead. Somebody who always knows what's going on, somebody who's always put together, not necessarily somebody who's perfect, but somebody who just always figures it out and always seems to be able to push through and who just puts on for his city very well. So that's what Metro's Finest is all about. It's all about me just poking my chest out and just letting people know exactly what time it is. So, but shout out to Devon for providing a lot of the sounds that he has put out there, because it has definitely helped me with this, with this project. But he goes by Devon Beats on Instagram. DAVAUGHN. Yeah, Devon Beats. And if there's anybody that likes, hip hop production, anything that has, chopped up soul samples and just smooth, groovy type shit, he's definitely one of the guys that I recommend, most definitely.
Yeah, definitely for what I've heard on Metro Finance, that's a dope beat within itself, and definitely
Yeah,
look very eager of hearing more from you guys once this project is officially released. You got some
yeah,
features on this
yeah,
project. You got Waltre Clay and
yep,
Anonymous Rose on Incest
yep,
Part 2 Jazz Rap. Also, Devon
yep.
also produced that as well. Now, you and
Hmm.
Walt, y'all got history. Um,
Yeah,
did Stay Anonymous back in 2020. And of course,
yep.
the aforementioned Anonymous Rose. Uh, so having these two on the same track, that's going to be mind blowing. Um, that's going to be mind blowing, especially once
Yeah.
this project is released. Talk about getting these two incredible talents on the exact same track. On I'm sorry for you for Incest Part 2.
I mean, what before I go into that, I just want to give I want to give a shout out to the other producers on the project,
Yeah.
Jay Ideas, of course, who I have history with. He's produced for me in the past, and I really appreciate all that he's done for me. Philip Culver, who's produced a song called Triple O, which I really really love. So shout out to Philip Culver, shout out to Jay Ideas, and another guy who goes by the name By Deep. I've also found him on Track Train. He's produced a song called Time on the project as well. So shout out to those guys. Those guys have been very instrumental in helping me craft my sound for this project. So shout out to them. Uh, but going on to Incense Part Two, when it came to getting Anonymous and Walter Clay for the track, it was one of those things where I was just like, the idea of all three of us on a track, it really shows me why I love to collaborate with other people, because I like to do collabs that you know that when you just look at it, you're just like, oh, okay, that's interesting. I'm interested in seeing what that's going to sound like. And um and when it comes to Anonymous, like I've already said, I'm a fan of hers. She's definitely one of the best lyricists in the city. And I also wanted to work, with with a female MC, because I know Lexington has a few, that really really go there when it comes to lyrics and everything. But she's definitely one of the more prominent ones, and she's one of the ones that's out there. And we've been wanting to knock something out together for a long time. So so I tapped her for that, and she sent the verse back to me, and I was just like, okay, we definitely got one. And then with Walt, with me working with Walt, it's a no brainer. It's like you said, me and him have history. He's like, that's my partner in rhyme right there. Um, me and him have great chemistry when it comes to anything that we do, and he just knows how to rap over just about anything. Um, I'm just a fan of how he's able to just maneuver with a lot of the beats that he decides to go over sometimes. And when it comes to the off kilter type of type of flow and type of thing, like Walt is definitely one of the best at doing that. This is the same guy that can literally switch up his style at least 4 or 5 times within a single verse. And he has a very eclectic style. You never know exactly what you're going to get from him, and that's one of the reasons why I'm a big fan of his. Um, so when it came to putting those two together, the thing that caught me was like, when have we actually heard when have we actually heard these two on a song, or when have we ever seen them on stage together? And I like to do things that people really don't expect, and I knew that this would be one that people weren't really expecting, but when they actually hear the song, they're going to be like, okay, yeah, you know, this definitely needs to happen more. Um, we definitely need more energy like this when it comes to when it comes to lyricism in the city, because we have a lot of great lyricists here. So I definitely want to be one of the guys that makes that more of a popular thing. And but the both of them absolutely killed their parts on the song. That one is one that I'm really excited for people to hear. So yeah, so I shout out to Anonymous Rose and Walt Trey Clay for blessing the song.
Yes, sir. Check out this project, Metro Finest. Um, Check out this incredible body of work. Shout out to ROC. He's also on
Yeah,
this record with Groundlings. Yeah, Groundlings. That's the track that
yeah,
you two are on. When will this? Is this coming out this coming week?
yeah. The Fly Who Warned Me, that will be out on the 16th, December 16th, which is this upcoming Friday. It will be available at midnight. So that's when that will drop. And it's 9 songs. You know, lyrics, bars galore, nice beats. Great samples on there. It's a body of work that I'm really really proud of. My boy Chad Davis, who goes by Fireworks. He mixed and mastered the whole entire project. He mixes and masters everything that I do. So shout out to him as well. But yeah, that comes out on the 16th, and I'm excited for y'all to hear the Groundling song with ROC too. We've been wanting to knock something out for a long time, and and we definitely get busy on that song as well. So yeah, it'll be out on the 16th. The EP, The Fly Who Warned Me.
Yes, sir. That's this coming Friday. Be available on all the platforms. Lex Luthor, who the fly, who warned me. So
Yeah,
go get this project. Metro Finance is already out right now, so you can go stream it, go buy it, go download it, go purchase it.
yeah,
Great having you on the show tonight, man. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your support. It was good running into you on numerous occasions this year. But I think the
yeah,
last time we seen each other was the Jim Rats album release at the Borough. And
yeah.
you
Yeah,
made an
that was fun.
appearance. Yeah, you and Corey Fisher and Bus. I think he goes by Black Manhattan. He used to be known as Will the Poet. That was cool to see him. And he's a very, very tall dude. Sometimes I have to say
Yeah,
that to him. I knew he was
yeah,
tall, but man, he's tall, tall. Like, he's a tall
yeah,
dude.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He towers over everybody. Yeah, most
Yeah,
definitely.
so he's one of the very few. He's probably the tallest musician that I know in this whole music scene. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
but
probably.
yeah, he's definitely right up there. All right, man. You take
Yeah.
care. You enjoy your night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Congrats on this project, and I'll
Thank
be
you.
tuning in on Friday once it comes out.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you having me on here, like always, and I appreciate you for your support that you always show, not only to me but to everybody in the city. So thank you for having me on once again, man. I really really appreciate it.
Appreciate you, man. You have a good night.
You do the same, man. Thank you.
All right, bye bye.